Hello, dear one. My name is Naniya from Love and Freedom Life Strategies. I'm a life and health coach. I want to tell you today the parable, the metaphor of the two daggers. This is an incredibly powerful metaphor, and ever since I heard it, it's been impacting my internal world in a powerful way. So the idea here is that in life, pain happens. Difficult things happen to us, and that's the first dagger. Metaphorically, we are stabbed by this painful thing. It can be small things throughout our day, things that don't go right, or it can be really big things like the loss of a job, the loss of a loved one, the loss of our health. Painful things happen to us. That's the first dagger. And we need to feel these things. We need to allow ourselves to feel them, the grief, because we know that when we feel, we then can heal. However, we often do something else as well as just feeling, as well as reflecting, because reflection is also so helpful and useful. It's such a huge part of how we learn from our experiences, is we reflect upon them. But what we do on top of feeling and reflecting is we ruminate. We tell ourselves a story. We begin to identify with our thoughts. So our thoughts about a particular event, we were fired from our job and we begin to think, maybe I am good for nothing. Maybe I'm never going to find another job like this. We begin to put layer upon layer of suffering on top of the painful event that has already happened. And this, metaphorically, is how we reach for the second dagger and we stab ourselves with it. The tale of the two daggers, the parable. The first is the pain of life that is inevitable. The second is the suffering that we do to ourselves. It's something that we do, and so it's something that we can undo. The moment we begin to notice that we are picking up the second dagger and stabbing ourselves, that we're causing this secondary suffering, is the moment that light can shine on this and it can begin to shift and change. So I've had a fight with someone who's important to me. That's painful. I start to tell myself, they're never going to forgive me. Maybe I really am a terrible friend. I mess up all the time. Wait a minute. These thoughts, they're not necessary. Are they helpful? No, they're not helpful. We tend to think that if we think long and hard enough about something that we can solve it, that we can fix it. But it's not true. And again, it's not about reflecting on something, but it's about ruminating. It's about identifying with our thoughts and allowing them to cause us deeper and deeper suffering. The moment we notice that we have picked up the second dagger, the moment we notice that we have caused our own suffering, we can put it down. We can say to ourselves, I don't need this. It's not useful. It's not necessary. I can stop creating my own suffering. When we shine the light of awareness on this habit of picking up and using the second dagger, when we shine the light on it, it begins to lose its power, because habits are a powerful thing. We can say, I notice I'm having the thought that my friend will never forgive me. I notice that I'm thinking ... Instead of identifying ourselves with that thought, we begin to identify the thought. I notice that. And this suffering of the second dagger, it really is our subconscious whirling around the event, the painful event, the first dagger. And so it takes some work. It takes some some time to begin to break that habit, to begin to notice. So set yourself a goal today of just in one event that happens to you that's painful. It could be something not too huge, like being cut off in traffic. Okay, that's annoying, that's painful, that's the first dagger. And then the second is, how dare they? Who do they think they are? Or maybe, a criticism, someone criticizes you. The second dagger comes in, maybe I really am a good for nothing. The instant you notice that you have picked up and are using the second dagger, you can also say, is this useful? Is this helpful? No. And you can put it down. Set an intention to practice on one thing each day that's kind of small, and begin to get into a new habit. Instead of ruminating, instead of telling yourself a story, instead of allowing the thoughts to whirl and whirl around the event and cause deep suffering, unnecessary suffering, notice, shine the light of awareness, and put down that second dagger. Thank you for being with me today. Let's continue to practice together. Peace to you.